And that's my favorite, is the crossbow. Two of them could be sitting there feeding. You take one down, and the other one just gets startled, but doesn't run.
Somewhere in the words that follow, there's a missing melody. The war in Nam began to unravel when the servicemen there began to question and didn't agree with the answers they received. That rebellion began almost with the first boots on the ground, and it grew by ones and twos and threes until by 1971 there were tens of thousands refusing orders, deserting. They were even fragging officers. That term comes from the tossing of a fragmentation grenade into a sleeping officer's tent, but came to include all sorts of friendly fire situations. Upshot is, in 71, a bunch of them got together and in public testimony called it Winter Soldier. And of course, even then, the major media didn't cover it, but the word still got out. And soon after, congressional hearings were held. That's why you get to see videos of a young John Kerry testifying. Flash forward 37 years and it's deja vu all over again. Uncovered by the corporate media, of course. Winter Soldier 2. Thomas Paine described the summer soldier. That's someone who will only stand and fight when sacrifice is not required or called for. When it is, he'll slip away into the night. Because it's easy to wave flags and act the patriot when the crowd around you is chanting the same refrain. True courage is the lone voice of dissension. When a nation's multitudes have gone pretty much insane, when the winter soldier stands his ground to challenge, and he questions the direction of his nation, he is often called a traitor, a coward, a self-hater, and too often stands alone to hold his station. As the drums of war gain cadence in the nation's blood and reaches fever pitch, without thinking, the legions of summer soldiers' fingers on the triggers start to itch. Waving flags and cheering, they are led to blindly killing. Ignorance and anger are the tools their rulers use. Thoughtlessly, they've jumped upon the wagon, calling for the blood of any foe their leaders choose. When the winter soldier stands her ground to challenge, and she questions the direction of her nation, she is often called a traitor, a coward, a self-hater, and too often stands alone to hold her station. When the news becomes just a chorus seeking vengeance, and the pundits are but pimps promoting war, then the winter soldier bears the nation's conscience and should become our beacon, our guiding star. Even as the drums for war began to beat, there were soldiers trying to tell us not to go. With the fog of war now thinning, I entreat that you listen to the winter soldier saying no. Now, it is Circle 5.
I love it out here. This life don't get any better than this. She just got no idea what to think about it and got her flummoxed and bewildered, so she's just sitting there trying to figure it out. It's actually coming this way.